Hey guys, it's your boy Patt. Welcome back to the next episode of the Haul Down Cigar Lounge. Got our homie Chad with us today. What's up, brother?
How's everybody doing?
So we're smoking a Gordo, so we're gonna go straight into the cut and the light because we are not going to finish this bad boy before this show is over. So we're gonna jump right into it, get this going, and then we'll talk about what's going on today. Uh, this
Oh,
is
my
a
band came off. Oh,
already.
it's in the.
Oh,
I
it's stuck
pulled it
in the
out of the
wrap
sleeves. Yeah,
or in the solo.
I will put it back on. It's okay. Boom.
So I will tell you because I just did it. Do a nose test on this one before you light it. Tell me what you get. I can't. I don't know what to call it.
Well, I can smell that Candela. It smells grassy to me, almost like barnyardy. Is what I'm
It's
getting from the foot.
That's what I expected, and it's there. But there's this like
Something else.
sweet. I don't know if I want to say floralish, but it's interesting mix. I'm curious. I'm not gonna
Are you
lie.
get
I've had this cigar, but it's been a long time, so I do not remember hardly
color
anything about it.
color coordination?
Ooh, color
Oh yeah, I
coordination.
gotta call out my new sweatshirt, and it's super fuzzy, like you said it was. Um, Super impressed with the way it feels, and it was awesome. So got that today in my flag and my hat. So
Part of
are
the
you
new swag.
you gonna straight cut or are you gonna V cut?
So I went ahead and V cut.
I'll straight
'Cause
cut then and see
it's
what
got a it's
happens.
got a double cap, and that second cap is actually pretty. I know this dark cigar may not want to show, but that double cap actually, you can see it on that Candela, actually comes down pretty good. So I went ahead and V cut it
All right, I'll straight cut it just to be different.
just to be different.
Yep.
All right. So what we are smoking today is the Asylum 13 Ogre. Show you this video. It's got the band. It is a mix of two bands. That should be pretty obvious that we will pull up the details from Cigars International and read that to you in just a moment. But due to the size, we are lighting to get going because we're going to be here for a little bit.
I don't smoke many Gordos, and I forget about how long it takes to light 'em.
Yeah,
It's
it
kind of
definitely
a chore.
takes a little bit longer of a torch. I'm pretty sure most of them you smoke are ones I send you more than if you're going on percentages.
Yeah, I probably have bought just a handful in my whole life, but I tend to stay Toro. Toro's my biggest smoke typically, unless I'm getting into some weird A size or.
Right.
But that's more length than girth. So 60 is quite a big ring gauge.
You know, and I'll talk about hand size, but this is I mean, I'm just naturally holding this like a pencil, and it's just resting perfectly. So,
See, the only 60 ring gauge cigars I smoke on the regular are Got a Fire Anniversario 60
mm-hmm.
and the any of the like the pigs, the League of Pigs. Those are all 60 ring
Oh
gauge, but they're
yeah,
3.5 inches long, right? So
right. So they don't burn as
um,
long.
yeah, so those, and then like the little chubbies, the Don Derma chubbies, those are 60 ring gauge. But normally I don't buy 60 ring gauge cigars.
Well,
It's not my jam.
I'll read this real quick while you are getting that lit up. So it is on CI. The wrapper is a mix of a Nicaraguan Candela, which you can definitely see with the green, and a Habano Maduro. So you're going one tilt to the other. Binder and filler are all Nicaraguan. The specific factory where it was built is undisclosed. I've always been under the belief, and we reference this off air, that I think they're coming from CLE, but I'm not 100% sure. But I know it's Nicaraguan. So pretty much just a. I mean, we're getting close to potentially calling it a Nicaraguan Puro, just with Candela and Maduro barber pole wrapper. So the uh, the initial layout doesn't give you too much other than it is a complex, full-bodied array of flavors with something unique. The strength is set right at a medium, 3 out of 5. But when you pair this over with Blind Man's Puff, they they expected, based on the aroma, to see some cocoa and coffee, but it turned into more of a sweet, smooth and creamy profile in general. So let's see which way we go.
So I would encourage you to retro it right now because surprisingly, it's very smooth.
Okay.
No pepper.
I kind of did a halfway retro. Let's do a real one.
No pepper at all, which was I was shocked a little bit.
Interesting. Like, you know, when you first retro, you kind of get that tingle in your nose right as it just wakes up the senses. So
Yeah.
I felt that, and I expected it to keep. And you're right, it doesn't. It's not.
Especially a big stick. Usually those big sticks, those first couple hits are pretty intense.
They are.
I can definitely taste the Candela, but
can.
it's a strange combination. So I can't say I've had too many of these barber pole styles that have Candela wrapped into them.
A Maduro
Yeah, it's
or a Habano Maduro.
well, like they have those the ones that come out every year for St. Patty's Day. I've never smoked any of those. The hooligans and all those. I've never had one of them. So
Those are actually pretty good, if
Are
I'm
they?
being honest. There is a little bit more hype than there is flavor quality, but it is still a good cigar in my opinion. Definitely worth a shot. I think they're good. The Gooligans, the Halloween version they're coming out now is interesting.
what is that one?
So it's a barber pole as well, but it's a different second wrapper, and I can't remember what the other one is. Let me tell you.
But it's not a Candela mixed with something, right? It's
No, it's
probably more of an orangish color. I would think they would shoot for brown and orange, or
it's a brown and orange for Halloween, which it's a broadleaf and an Ecuadorian Habano instead of a Candela.
this is a strange flavor. It's almost like grassy chocolate. That's kind of what I'm getting. Like it's different, and it's good. I mean, it's definitely interesting.
So to reference my comment of that I haven't smoked this in a while, I was talking about that I've had this cigar, but I didn't really remember it. So I sent you this cigar for us to smoke out of my humidor that I placed in the humidor November 12th of 2022.
Oh, right on.
So, we're
2.25 years into this guy.
right. And I know for a fact the last time I smoked this cigar was the last time I bought some at Cigars International in Fort Worth, because I smoked a couple there and then walked out with a couple extras for the purpose of the show. Because originally I was going to smoke it when Johnny Bravo was on, and just show after show we just kept pulling something else out of the drawer. Here we are 2+ years later. So I know for a fact I have not smoked this since November of 2022. So
Yeah, what are you getting for notes? Can you taste that Candela?
I can taste the Candela.
But it's strange because it's mixed.
It is. It doesn't. To the point that I'm curious if Kevin would like this or not, because it's got a little Candela, but it doesn't have most of the true Candela notes we tend to find, probably
Right.
because it's blended. I don't know if I want to say blended out, but I think it's mixed up with the notes from that Maduro wrapper. So I
Yeah.
get a little bit of grassiness. I don't I don't get the bitter tones, and I'm
No,
not
I agree.
I'm not
I think
getting as much chocolate as I am more of like a very light roasted coffee. Like it's not your normal, and that's probably the other token is the Maduro parts also getting mixed with the Candela. It's not as bold as a straight Gordo size Maduro normally would be.
yeah. No, I could go with coffee too, like espresso. Um, it's a strange flavor, so that's why I'm struggling to really say what it is, other than
Right.
I can taste the candela, but mixed with that other wrapper, it definitely makes for a strange note that you can't put your finger on. But it's
I like
very smooth.
it is very smooth. Um, I like it because it's smooth. And Asylum is a brand that is kind of all over. They have some budget sticks as well. Like one of the um, yard guards, if you will, that I'll throw in every once in a while is the Medulla Oblongata. It's not a great cigar; it's a good cigar. Um, but then they have some more not full premium but higher level sticks. The price greatly varies based on size. So, for one, this is not the biggest size, which I guess would be homage to the fact that they are calling it an ogre, partially from the look. I think that's a little bit obvious.
I think mostly from the look, yeah.
um,
Shrek.
I was about to say if you don't know that reference, you need to go watch some Shrek. But
Hmm.
it does have a Lancero, which I have not tried it in, which would be interesting to see. You have a Robusto 550, a Gordo 660, a Gordo Extra at 680, a different Gordo Extra at 770, and yet another Gordo Extra at 8 by 80. So your cheapest one is the Lancero in a box of 25, which is 180 a piece. Or sorry, 180 for the box. That makes it 720 a piece. But if you go all the way up to the Gordo Extra, that's a box of 20 for some obvious size purposes. That goes up to $13 a stick. So this
That's
one,
the one we're smoking now, or you said
this
that's the 880?
that was the 880. So this one is 220,
1011?
225. So like 1050 is the box of
Yep.
25. Or no,
Yeah.
250, 246. So like yeah, right at pretty much $10 a stick.
It's burning nice, which is a lot of times you get these double wrapped cigars, they tend to burn a little funny, but there's a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of mismatch, but it's burning really well. Burning well, smoking well.
Mine's not far. You can kind of see where it splits right at that wrapper pull. So to what you're saying,
Man, the retro on this is crazy smooth though. Not what I expected at all. I thought it was going to be a little more peppery or hot. It's not.
right? I know I'm retroing every several hits, which, as you know, is something I normally don't do a lot. But it's actually a pleasant retro.
When I retro it, I almost get this little bit of, like when you smell somebody who walks by and you get a little hint of their cologne. When I
Yeah,
retro it, I kind of feel that in the back of my palate, like I almost have that smell, or like I can't put my finger on what the smell is, but it's a
yep.
good smell type thing.
Now, I am going to play it safe and go ahead and tap this because it's starting to curl just enough, and I just don't want to drop it on the setup here. But otherwise, it looks like it potentially could hold up for a while. I just want to be sure on that. So
Well, I'm going for a slow mo ash drop today.
Oh, I don't know if we've had a Chad slow-mo ash drop, have we?
We haven't, so that's why I'm gonna do it on my brand new. I'm gonna burn a hole in my brand new sweatshirt.
So maybe we're so excited about this, we just need to keep you in the full screen for the whole show and just wait for
No,
our
no, we can
opportunity.
just go back to that split screen. That's a good look. That's
That's a
perfect.
good look. Uh, but yeah, man. So this is I said other than me remembering that I've had it, I didn't remember the notes, and I fully expected, like you're saying, us to be talking about some initial spice and pepper mix just because of that Candela blend, and that is not what's happening here. This
Yeah,
is
like I told you, I've only smoked a few, but my little bit that I can remember, because it's been 4 years probably since I've smoked an Asylum, and it was one of the Maduros they have. I don't know which one, but it was. I was expecting it to be peppery because that's what that one was.
right.
And this is
It's
not that
not
at all. It's deceivingly mild for the big imposing cigar that it looks to be. Right?
right.
It's deceivingly mild. It's a good smoke.
I'm kind of sad that I haven't smoked one of these in 2 years.
Mm, you may
You know,
not be. You
it's
might be happy because that 2 years might have be why we're sitting here talking so good about it too. You
it
never
very well
know.
could be.
Could have took all the heat out of it.
I may have to go get another one and smoke it sooner. And
A
if there's
brand,
any
just get a
difference,
brand new one. Yeah.
yeah. And if there's any difference, I'll drop, I'll comment on the video and see if there's any difference or not, and see if that extra age did help mellow it out, or if that's just what it is.
Well, I would assume the Candela for sure. The way I don't know much about Candela, but the way Kevin talks, I think the longer it ages, the less pronounced it is.
Right. Right.
He always says you want it fresh, like aging it, and basically stripping the properties out of it takes all the flavors he likes out, right? So
Right.
he makes that new, fresh, grassy Candela.
Which I think that's how we're. Um, if it's not out by now, I think they're coming soon. Where Saka releases some more of the blending information for that GFY collection, but I think that's maybe how he got that GFY Candela to smooth out his extra aging, because I know Kevin didn't like it, which if heard us talk about it, he said it on the show, and they've talked about it. You know, Saka doesn't like Candelas, but he made one that he likes. So I think that's probably what he did, is he aged it and let all those extra fermented notes and stuff come out of there, which maybe inadvertently could have been what happened with this resting for so long.
Yeah. Well, the other one that he likes that I referenced on the show that I just recently smoked, that one was not overly grassy either. I don't know if you wanted to say the name of it because we're planning on doing it.
Yeah,
feather,
we're gonna.
feather,
Yeah,
feathered
the
serpent.
feathered serpent. We can talk about it because we're already pre-planning to smoke it. Because we were talking about the Apostate cigars, and since the show where we talked about them, I have ordered it from BL Luxuries. I have smoked a couple. I have not smoked all six at the time of this recording yet. I may have finished them, with the exception of Feathered Serpent, by the time this publishes. Um, 'Cause I want to smoke them back to back to back, but I'm not. I'm mixing them up. But that Feathered Serpent, because of how well you liked it, Kevin liked it, and James Garcia liked it, we're gonna pull that one on the show when I smoke it for the first time. So it will be a blind smoke for me.
It was very good, and it was surprisingly smooth. And like, if you'd have blindfolded me, I mean, I could tell you it's Candela, but it sure it wasn't what I expected it to be. I guess is the only way I can say it. Like, I went in thinking it was going to taste like grass. Like when you smell grass getting cut, that smell that goes into your nostrils, that's what the flavor in the back of my throat I thought I was going to taste the whole time I was smoking it, and that was not the case. So
Wasn't your true Candela experience?
it was an awesome cigar though. Of the two
I'm
of
looking forward to
those,
it.
my two favorites were, I don't remember the name of the apostates that we're talking about. There was
Yep.
a pyramid or a torpedoed Connecticut that was really good. I don't know if you grabbed that one.
There's 8 in total,
Hmm.
which there's some cool notes that I will not say because I want to save that for when we smoke the Apostate Feathered Serpent. But there's 8 total. I got the first 6. Um, Pyramid was that the? I'm gonna pull it up because
It's more of a Connecticut looking. It has a blue.
is that
The
the Zar?
band has some blue on it.
I think that's the Zaram Hill man. I can't pronounce this without looking at it. Hold on. I think I know which one it is, but let me pull it up.
It's the lightest cigar they have in their profile, or at least the ones that I saw on BL.
Get the pictures to load here. The My internet's been bugging today. So this is that the torpedo is the Liahona.
Yep, that sounds right.
The 6x45 Corona. It is the number 3 blend.
Yeah, that one was very good. And then I think the other one I really enjoyed the most was the dessert cigar, and that one's got some really cool artwork in the band
So
or
I
in the
will tell you
wrapper.
after we talked about it. Now I'm not going to go down this yet, but we kept saying the desert cigar. We were missing an E. It is the Deseret, and it names to a
Oh, it's not dessert. I read it. I thought it was the dessert cigar.
same I did as well. But when I was
Ah,
looking up the information that we're going to talk about later, Deseret, the Deseret, and it references a proposed state name, and that's as far as I'll go on this one because there's some really cool info. But yeah,
okay,
we were missing an E when we read it the first time. So
fair enough. Hooked on phonics.
hooked on phonics.
Hey, not everybody can read, Pat. Not
No,
everybody can read. Me included. I'm just so excited to get into light it and smoking it that I don't even care what it
I
says half
know.
the time.
You see
Well,
DST desserts.
to be fair, the bands are a little hard to read. Like when you're looking at, even when they're in front of your face, you for sure can't read pictures of them or like on the website. But even when they're in front of your face, it's like you have
Yep.
to really focus on it to see what it says.
And guess what? There's a reason for that too, that we'll talk
Oh
about later.
man, you
I
did
went down a rabbit hole. I learned some cool stuff about apostate. So
you did a little research. The other brand that I've been digging on is Jake Wyatt. Man, I
mm,
like going through some of their stuff because BL has that stuff too.
yeah, that was a brand that we got surprised at the NFG event last year. There was one that I didn't like. I want to say it was the lithium. That was a little weird to me. So far, I may
I
not be
had that
wrong.
one 2 nights ago, Lithium. That was
What
the
did you
only one
think
that
about
has a non-traditional band. I thought it was okay. It didn't leave me wanting more. It's a
it?
cigar
No.
I'll probably never smoke again.
All the rest of them so far, the Herbert Spencer, the
I love
USIR,
that Herbert
the
Spencer is so good.
it is the Fourth Dimension.
Is
Those are
that
all
the
great.
Candela? Which I have one of the Candelas. I'm getting ready to smoke that one.
I think that's.
The
I
fourth
remember that.
dimension, or is
See,
that
this
the
is why I keep
appendix?
Google up when we talk because
Right.
my memory gets a little shady sometimes on which one's which.
Mine's gone.
Fourth Dimension. I don't think that's no. The Fourth Dimension is. It's got the triple like Candela ring at the top and bottom, but it's not a Candela. Which one is the Candela? Which one?
Appendix, maybe.
I'm tripping
There's
here, man.
appendix. There's Herbert
Oh,
Spencer.
the Lucid
Fourth
Interval.
dimension. Lucid. That's the one. Lucid interval, and that's the true Candela, or
That's the true
supposed to be
Candela.
the true Candela. So I'll be
And
interested to kind of run that up against the feathered serpent and see how it
because
how I
that's the
can
one
compare
that
them.
James Garcia mentioned that me not being a true Candela fan, that's one that I actually like as one. I think he said that was um, one of their top Candela sellers is the Lucid Interval.
They
So
also have a couple of Vitolas that look like a BBMF. Did you see those? You know, the BBMF from Opus X. It's
Yeah, yeah.
tapered with a big plume, comes down, has tapered. It's a
I guess I haven't.
figurado Vitola with a plume on the end, and they have them on VO, and they're really sexy, and
On
they're
the
like
Jake Wyatt.
$17. Yeah,
I guess I missed those because all the ones I've seen have been either
standard round
standard
or
Corona or Parejo type of thing. I haven't seen.
yeah, if you look on there, and they have I think two of the blends come in that really nice figurado Vitola, I guess you'd call it. It's a strange Vitola. Nobody
Oh,
uses it.
interesting.
You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So it
So
looks
in the
just like a
lucid,
BBMF.
it does. So in the lucid interval and the Herbert Spencer, they're both LE figurados at 7 by 49 to 64.
Hmm.
That is if damn, that's cool. I'm also learning right now that there's a couple Jake Wyatt blends that I did not know existed. There's a Maverick and an Icarus that I did not know about. The Appendix I knew about, or the Appendix 2. I've never seen an Appendix 1, so I wonder if if there was an original Appendix that
If it never made it.
never made it, or if
Yeah.
there's a catch with the name. I'm curious.
Well, hey, you had to take the appendix out, so they replaced it with the appendix 2.
Maybe so. Pesky little appendixes are a pain.
Have you ever had that? I still have mine. Do you have yours, or do you have them
I
taken out?
still have mine, thankfully. I've had a lot of injuries, some knee surgery, some broken bones thanks to sports and such. But so far, I still have all my organs.
Yep, me too.
But,
Thankfully, knock on wood.
right? Hold on. There you go.
Yeah.
Um, my dad always told me to do that because I was a knothead. So, well, my grandfather always called me a knothead. So, if I needed to knock on wood, Dad just told me to do it my damn self. The next time I do an order from BL, I may throw a couple of these in here because I haven't even heard of that Maverick and the Icarus. So,
I think I have one of those. I can't remember which. I'd have to look. Actually, I can tell you right now. I look at my.
but I'm also interested to grab those LEs, and they're both. Most of the Jake Whites, depending on size, are $9 to $11. Those are pretty much right at $16. So I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I have not smoked one of those yet, but I probably will end up with one sooner or later, just because they're so pretty.
Right.
And I'll light it on fire. That's the fun part. Let's see
So
there.
this, while you're looking that up, is your Ogre smoking faster than expected?
Yes, a little bit.
Okay. Just making
So
sure.
I have. No, I'm right here. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
about the same place.
Yeah,
So
you're-
in my humidor, I have an appendix 2, not 1, because that one got taken out.
right.
A fourth dimension, a Herbert Spencer Toro. I smoked my Herbert Spencer Corona just the other night, and then a lithium. I thought I had. Huh. Which one did we say was the Candela?
The lucid interval.
I have one of those. I'm not sure why. Maybe I didn't put it on my list or something. Yeah, well, I thought I had one. Maybe it's gone. I don't remember smoking it, so I'll update you later.
All right. And that's the brand. The more we've talked about them lately, need to bring them on the show a little bit because it's what I've known about the brand for a little, well, pretty much right at a year now, and we're excuse me, having several people, also make good comments about the brand. So maybe something we pull on and enjoy on the show as well.
I had heard about them. Yeah, I had heard about them before you guys went to NFG last year and kind of saw some of their cigars and thought they're just super sexy. And then you guys went, and then so Justin actually sent me a couple of Herbert Spencers.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
That was my first go with them, and I really liked it.
I had never even heard of them before the show, so I was mistakenly thinking that they were, a local pop up, and it's not the case. I just hadn't heard of them at all. But that's something to dive into as well. It's kind of similar to the Asylum that we're smoking. There's in a different aspect, Jake Wyatt kind of goes different appearances and kind of they don't stick to just the true, like, okay, name cigar Maduro, name cigar Habano. Okay, here's our next blend. They do something different with the names and the appearances. Um, it's, I guess, technically a boutique brand in that sense. So it's not just straight mainline. Here's a different wrapper. Let's give it a name. They try to do something with it. It makes it a little interesting.
Yeah, I would say I would have never guessed that I would have liked this cigar, and it's much more smooth than I thought it was going to be, for sure.
I definitely am going to have to. In fact, you know what? I'm going to give myself a note.
I would say overall, though, it's medium body, medium strength, and medium. I mean, it's medium everything.
Buy a new Ogre to compare on my notes, so that way I can.
You need a note for that.
Hey, my brain does a lot of things when we start talking about cigars, so I just want to make sure, because I do want to get another one and smoke it, a lot sooner, maybe, just a week or two after having the humidor, and compare it to, a couple years.
Yeah, the thing you got to be careful of is, I don't know how the cigar's been out a while, is that you don't go into a humidor that had a box that was 2 years old and sit on the shelf, or something that they just cracked.
Yeah, that's I know the cigar itself has been a blend for maybe getting close to 10 years, because I think I saw something as far as back to 2015, maybe farther than that, where that may have been the start, not sure. So yeah, I'll have to try to see if I can't get my hands on one that's a little bit more recent.
It'd be cool if you get your hands on one from 2015 too, and smoke that.
That would be cool. If there's any out there that haven't been smoked yet, that would be cool to get.
If you need details on where to send it, it's give them the email address.
Right.
And all other cigars.
So maybe 20. No, I'm not going to say. I'm not sure. I see something that says 2013 here, but I'll have to look into that and see how long it's been out, which I might can do. Asylum 13 Ogre release. Let's see. When did you show up? Released in 2013. Was originally debuted at a 2012 trade show.
12 years.
12 years.
You agree that it's pretty much medium everywhere? Medium strength, medium body, smoke texture's medium.
Everything.
It's not strong in any way. It's just about right. And it is burning a little faster than I would have assumed too.
It is, and I wonder if that's just, from maybe the Candela drying out a little bit, and it's not a spongy cigar. Like, the construction is actually, it's pretty firm for something that's burning this fast. So it's not.
But it's not as heavy as I would expect. Though, like, when I pick it up, it's not as heavy as I would expect either. So that may be, to your point, it's not spongy, but it's kind of strange. Maybe it's the way they roll it, or
way it's rolling it, or if what exact. And it's only showing me Nicaraguan filler. I'm not 100% sure what exactly that internal leaf is. Maybe it's just a blend that's not as dense on the leaf.
Yeah. Well, anytime I'm pulling something out of the Tupperware from the show smokes, I'm always, that thing probably sits at about 71, so I usually try to pull smokes out and let them sit for a day before I smoke them.
I don't.
Because no matter what, I can't I can't get the Tupperwares I put all my show smokes in down. Like the one that mine and your stuff is in doesn't even have a Boveda in it. It's just sitting there empty and it stays at 71.
So I've got, and of course, it kind of also varies between the cigars. Like I've got two of my smaller Tupperwares outside. They're the exact same Tupperware. These are the smaller ones, for special stuff. And each one has um, three of the 65% Bovedas in there with roughly the same amount of cigars. I'm looking at my hygrometers right now. One is 69 degrees, the other is 68, so no variance there. But the show sticks is sitting at 68% right now, while the other one that's sitting directly beside it is at 71%. So, and you're also relative to the other cigars that are also in your humidor space as well.
Yeah.
So,
You can go up to 70 without any trouble as long as your
yep,
temperature doesn't go too high, right? You
right.
can run 70 all day long as long as you're not running at 75 temperature or
And
74 temperature.
technically, this is kind of considered taboo, but you can kind of go up to 75-ish% because you've always got that plus or minus 2 to 3 degrees range, and Boveda makes a 72% pack. But as you stated, that's not your pure issue. It's when you start getting above room temperature that if there's any beetle remnants that they can show issues. So
Yeah.
but below, it's kind of a vague rule. Below the 70s, you normally don't have as much of an issue. Below 70%, below 70 degrees, you should not have an issue on that side of things. It can happen. It's still an organic product, but it's not. Your chances are a whole lot less.
If you keep
So
your
even
cigars a little cooler, you have way less chance of beetles.
in my electrics, um, I both keep around 65 degrees. And my big Herfador, I've got it in a place where it also stays pretty cool. So it's 66 degrees right now. So I never have issues out of there. It's the Tupperwares that I got to pay attention to, since obviously there's no temperature assist in those. It's based on
Right.
whatever room and area they're in.
And not even really any ventilation or anything. I
Nothing.
open mine every once in a while and just burp them, let them sit on the desk for a minute and suck
Yep.
some dry air in. And because they're all running 70, 71 anyway. So if I let them sit there for 20 minutes open, it doesn't
Yep.
hurt them a bit.
No. Gives a chance to Bovitas to catch a break, let some of that moisture pull off, and let them do their thing.
So I'll say that this thing hasn't transitioned at all.
Agreed.
To me, it's the same chocolate coffee grass flavor. I don't know how to describe that, but
No, that's
it's nice. It's not. It sounds gross. Like anytime you say grass and anything, it sounds kind of gross, but it's kind of a pleasant flavor.
it
It's
is.
different.
I'm actually kind of glad that I don't remember what I thought about it. And this was before I started using the box pressed app, so I can't go back and pull it. I didn't have it that far back, but it. I'm glad I don't remember it, because this is a good stick. I'm gonna have to, you know, throw some more back in rotation every once in a while, because it's that grass is there, but it does not offend my palate at all. It mixes pretty well with with everything else going on. And I'm pretty much with you. I'm staying on that grass and coffee note. I'm not getting as much for me to honestly say chocolate.
The aftertaste to me almost tastes like minty. It's kind of weird. And I don't know if it's because I'm looking at it and it looks like my brain's
Right.
tricking me. A lot of times that happens, but I'd be curious to smoke it in the Lancero because then you'd really just get
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the
true
whole
wrapper. You get
wrapper.
all wrapper flavors. It'd probably be a lot more pronounced as far as the Candela mixed with the. Would you say the other wrapper is
It
the broadleaf or?
it's a Habano Maduro.
Mm.
That's what it says. Uh, yeah, Nicaraguan Candela and a Habano Maduro.
be curious to smoke it in the Lancero. Just not that that's I don't love that size, but man, it does a good job of really showcasing just the wrappers in the
Agreed.
binder. Just a little filler
And
in it. You're just smoking wrapper and binder, really.
I'm not sure if this is because they don't produce as much or it sells quickly, but on CI, the only two that's out of stock is the Robusto and the Lancero.
I would guess they're a pain in the butt to make, like
Yeah,
most Lanceros, so that they probably only run them a few times a year. That's why Steve Saka hates them too.
yeah. It's not as easy. I mean, when you start getting too small and, I mean, small and skinny just makes it tough to keep roll construction and keep consistent,
And
among other
draw has got to be the big issue with the really small ring gauges is keeping the draw perfect, right? Like,
you don't have as much margin for error
right, you can
as far
miss
as your punching.
by a point or two on a 60 ring gauge, and it's like, it still smokes a little tougher, but
Right.
oh, it's pretty open. But man, you miss on a Lancero and it won't smoke at all, or it's
Mhm.
you know,
It's like Crown Heads, La Patissier. You know, most of theirs are more Toros and Grand Toros, but they have their LE. That's a it, it's
the little one.
it's halfway. No, the LE doesn't have the regular band. It's a straight cigar. Has nothing but a brown fabric band. Um,
Oh,
it's the same cigar, just it was an LE size, and it's I can't remember. It's kind of a Lancero slash Lonsdale-ish. It's probably closer to being Lonsdale, but it smokes like a Lancero to me. And you know, I've had several that smoke great, and then I've got one out of the same bundle that was super tight, and I was poking the hell out of it the whole time. So you know, so doesn't take much on those smaller gauges to have an effect.
I'll smoke a Lancero from time to time, but they're not my favorite. I mean,
Same,
actually, one of my favorite cigars is a Lancero, but it's an Opus X. So
not surprised.
when you can get an Opus X Lancero, you should smoke it.
My
It's a
most
whole different
frequent
world.
Lancero is probably Punch's Chop Suey, and it's not because it's a great cigar. It's a good cigar, but it's perfectly timed for me running around town. So it's more of a convenience thing than it is because I'm going for the specific
What is
cigar.
it, like 45 minutes for you then, or
So pretty much.
yeah?
Yeah, if I got to go to the other side of town and back, it's pretty much right where I'm at. And you know, if I'm driving that hour drive to the quote unquote home lounge, which is about 55 minutes. You know, by the time I finish smoking it, I'm about to pull up. So it's a great travel stick too for that.
Is NFG this weekend?
Um, by the time this airs, most likely.
So that's a no, yes, I don't know.
That's technically a no. It's
What was the date?
March 8th.
The 8th. Okay.
So
March 8th. I was thinking
March
it
8th.
was in February for some reason.
Nope. And I
Have
know
you
it's off
decided if
because
you're
we're.
going or not?
It's probably going to be a game day decision. So I may not know until, and I may run the risk of tickets not being available if I can go, but we've got between now and our cruise coming up in April, we've already got some things that are predisposed, some you know, some events and stuff that non-cigar related events that have been planned for quite some time. So we've only actually got one or two completely free do nothing weekends between now and then. So that's one of them. So I'm
Yeah.
technically free, but I may have to be a responsible adult, stay home and take care of some things. So
So was Fortaleza on the list this year? Or is
they
that
were
something we
not this
talked
year.
about? So speaking of free, did you ask Greg Free why have you messaged him and said, hey, I see you're not an NFG?
I've talked to him, but I haven't asked him that question yet.
I'm just curious.
'Cause I'm not gonna lie, I forgot about it the last time I texted him. So, but yeah, he was there last year, but I didn't see him on the list this year. But I did see that he was doing some other things up northeast, so it may just be a scheduling conflict for him. maybe that's
Yeah,
something.
that's a big show, though, man. I would think you'd want to go to the big ones.
So I'll ask him and see if I can remember to actually ask him that question. And
Well, there was some new people on there too when we were looking at the list, but Aganorsa's going to be there again, right?
I believe so. Yep.
Who is the new company that we were looking at?
Uh,
Well, they're not a new company, but they were a
New
big
to the
hitter.
event.
They were a big hitter that was on the list this year and was not last time.
Let's
I
see.
just like to live vicariously through you guys down there at NFT. You
All
take all
right.
your
So this
pictures.
this is the list. Aganorsa, Black Star Line, Cavalier, Crown Heads,
Mm.
Definition, Drunk Chicken, EPC, Espinoza, Ezra Zion, McAuliffe, Nomad, Ohana and 262, Oliva, Osak, Reserva Liga Texas, Rockefeller, Rojas, Romacraft, Timeout, Warfighter, and West Tampa. As far as the actual cigars, the ones that I don't remember seeing,
Roma was the new one that I was like, oh, Roma's on there.
I think Roma was there last year.
You guys didn't send me any of their cigars, that's for sure.
They only threw there was there was only a couple that was in the mix. It was the intemperate cigars, which I think I've got one left.
Oh, that's not true. I did get some of those. You're right. I do remember that because Justin did send me, because he sent me darn near one of every cigar he got there.
Oh, okay,
That was
okay.
like on our first trade. He was just trading me stuff that he got from there. And there were a couple of Romas in there. I do remember that now.
Yeah, the intemperance are from Roma. The
Was EPC there last year? Carrillo? EP Carrillo? That's the
I
name I think you would remember. They have some fantastic
um,
cigars. And Encores
oh
still.
yeah, they have fantastic cigars. I can't remember if they were or not. I don't. I want to say no, but I just because I would think I would
Es-
remember. But
was Espinoza there too?
Espinoza was there.
Maybe
Um,
you get a surprise visit by Guy.
because I know they were there for a fact because the Mercy Lagos were there. Um,
Speaking of, I'm still waiting on that bundle.
oh, it
The
hadn't
one I
showed up
should.
yet.
No, I got
Well,
my last update said the 28th. It said due to weather delays, it's been rerouted and there's no further information. And it's the third. And there's still no further information. So
oh yeah, yeah. Of course, we had that shipping conversation with him, so that's
yeah.
about.
Well, I texted him the other day and I was like, hey, just so you know that the
He
order I
did.
put in on the 23rd, 10 days ago, still is not here. And he's like, well, you want me to send you another one? He goes, he's at TPE right now. He
Oh,
goes,
okay.
because I can have him send you a new one or when I get back. I said, just wait till you get back from TPE. It's no big deal. I said, I just wanted to let you know because you're the business owner. I
Right.
said, and I said, I'm not crying. I'm not screaming. I'm just letting you
Yeah,
know.
because
That's
it's not
all.
his fault. You're just letting him know that it's
No, yeah,
somewhere.
and I know he'll take care of me. I'm not even one bit worried about it. If the package gets lost, James will just put another one together and send it
Right.
out. But I said, let's just let it air out here. Maybe it got hung up. And I told you about the one I had from the Bronx. So I got those Papa Juan exclusive Adventuras, those box
Oh,
press.
yep, yep, yep.
So that came out of the Bronx, New York. And you would
Okay.
think it pretty direct route just right over to Michigan, right?
You would think.
Or you think they go to Texas first because that's where mine went. They went all the way down to Texas and then
What?
came yes. That was another USPS 11-day journey. It was like, that was during the holidays too. So
Yeah,
they
that's
couldn't
fair.
get anything. They couldn't get anything right over Christmas.
Mm-mm,
Nothing.
nothing. Stuff was going everywhere.
Hmm.
I mean, we're physical driving time 3 hours from one of the major Texas regional shipping hubs. and our stuff was going to California and then coming back.
Right. It's crazy. And so like I told James, I was like, just I said, when you get back, we'll touch base. We'll see where it lands. And I said, if it goes another week or so, we'll let it play out. And I don't
Right.
want you to have to go through sending me a whole another package and all that. And
Because
I'm
that's
just about to take my band off.
I am a few puffs away. Because I am right there behind you.
Kind of looks like a little ice cream cone.
It does.
Like an ice cream cone emoji. Something. I don't know.
Well, here's a completely unrelated plug that I about forgot about. We've been doing this for a few weeks now. If you're watching this show, we have started a Hollow Down mail blog. It is just another way for us to connect with you. It is a pretty new venture. So we have been working on revamping the website. The original link of thehollowdown.com or hollowdowncigar.com, they now take you to the same place. Of course, you can get some of the merch like Mr. Chad's wearing. We vamped up the merch. If you go up there, you'll see the shop link. So that'll get you to where you need to go. But at the bottom of the homepage, or if you go to that community tab, you'll see a subscribe button. That is to pull up a form, subscribe to our mail blog. Just anything we have as far as updates, which could include stuff like swag. It could include, you know, various cigar industry news. We're not partnered with a specific store or anything, so we're not getting any kickbacks for sales. But if we see something that's really cool or special, like a limited release, may put that out to you as well. So just any good information. And when we do our virtual HERF sessions, if we have enough heads up for me to include it on the blog as well, that will also be there. So just various ways for us to keep in contact with you if that's something you would like to do. And like any other subscription, if you find out it's not your jam, one click unsubscribe, no harm, no foul. But jump over there, check out the site, check out the swag, jump on the mail blog, and just another way for us to engage with you a little bit, keep building our family. So it's just something we like to
Yeah.
do. And I've said it
Yeah.
before, but the swag was, started a while back. Several people were asking for swag. We kind of think the logo looks cool. I think it looks cool. Turned out good. And all those proceeds go back into paying for this software and everything for us to keep this going. So at this point in time, it is not a profit venture. It is balancing costs to do this podcast that we just enjoy for no other reason. So go
Yep.
check it
Just
out.
offsetting the cost. So the sweatshirt, I'll say, is much nicer than the round ones. These are way nicer.
Agreed. Big time agreed.
The inside is super soft. It's almost like a quilted feel. Very nice. I got my flag today. I got a new
Nice.
hat, Richardson 112 hat. I'll sport that on one of the next podcasts.
Heck yeah.
Didn't quite match. I didn't get it to match on purpose. I got a different color scheme, so
Right.
different than the ones you guys got too. So
And I do the first run was a completely different vendor. They were okay. We didn't like the prices. We didn't like the shipping. Changed vendors. So far, so good. Happy with it. The quality seems to be better. The pricing seems to be better. The shipping seems to be better. All
yeah,
around seems to be better. Got more options.
I got
Um,
3 things in one box today, which I know when I ordered prior, everything came separately, and then they charged you for everything separately. So
exactly.
on this bill, it was one shipping charge, and then
Hmm.
I think just I don't know why, but maybe it took a little longer. But you guys didn't get any of the cool slides that I got with the hollow down
That's
cow.
true.
But those are the last thing I'm waiting on. They're not here yet,
And
but I got everything else today.
I think that's what they do is to help on the shipping because print on demand stuff. Instead of us keeping a massive inventory, you go buy it and they make it and send it to you and it's ready. And instead of them shipping it to you one item at a time as they finish it, which is what the other people were doing, they hold it and once all 3 things have been completed, then they ship it to you, which is the smart way to do it. So you get your order all at the same time. You're not paying extra shipping. But
Right.
you're right. I have not ordered myself any of those slides yet, so we'll let you show that out.
You're
There's
gonna get
my.
all kinds of pictures of them on the boat. So
Let's do it.
tons of pictures. Just a bunch of feet pics. People are
Bunch of
gonna
feet
think you're a
pics.
weirdo. A weirdo.
Onlyfeet.com.
Ellen's gonna be like, who's this dude sending me feet pics?
Like, shh, don't. I'm focused. Don't interrupt me.
That's right.
But yeah, there's something everybody to enjoy, and it's just kind of fun, spreading the love, and we'll periodically um, add extra swag and shirts, and there's a couple water bottles and whiskey glasses or whatever. There'll be all kinds of stuff on there over time. So
The best news is there's gonna eventually be a flat bill hat just for all you
yes,
flat bill wearers out there.
so the one that I'm wearing is the original hat. This we actually liked from the previous vendor, of course, full switch. We love the Richardson 112s, but I go back and forth. I like both, so I am in the progress. And who knows? Maybe by the time this airs, it'll be ready because I am in the progress of working on setting up a flat build version. Just haven't completed that process yet, but
I'll be your first customer.
I have no doubt. I'm going to text you when it's done. So
I'll try the link out for you, and
right,
I'll demo it.
but eventually, I think doing this way will also enable us to do like any special shirts or event shirts or holiday shirts because the process is quicker, so we can do stuff like that too. So no telling what we'll do. We're random.
Oh,
Who
that's
knows?
That's a good idea.
So.
You could do that as a giveaway swag too,
Mm-hmm.
like a holiday T-shirt or.
Yep. All kinds of
Got me
things we
thinking
can
now.
do. Options have been opened when you find, great vendors to work with.
I
But
wonder where I was thinking about the other day where Justin keeps his show cigars. I'm wondering
no.
because he always has the plugs and the and the burn problems and stuff.
Well, I know he used, he was like many of us. All he had was he was living off of Tupperdoors, and I know here recently he got one of the big Herf Cooladors, so he has been changing how he stores things. So maybe he might get a little bit extra help having, a different humidor where he's at. But I'm
Yeah.
not
Do you
sure.
ever you run a little fan in your Herf? You
I
can
don't.
buy those ones that don't have any cords; they're just rechargeable. You can throw it in there and turn it on every couple days. Just kick it on for an hour, half an
I
hour.
don't, but that's also where some people, well, a lot of people use the trays. Each tray will be this type of cigar. I don't do that because I'm using my Herfador as my rotation of all my singles. So, every week or so, as that top drawer gets empty, I'm reloading it and then I'm literally just shuffling all of my cigars up a slot. So they're kind of rotating anyway. So
Yeah.
because of that, I have not had an issue needing a fan. Fans to
Well,
help
just
you.
pushing
Good.
some air through there helps every once in a while,
Yeah,
I think.
but
Even like I have a cooler in my basement, and I'll
mhm.
take my fan down there and throw it in there for an hour or two every couple weeks just to move the air around is all.
So I've never had an issue with any stick I've pulled out of there. So I think it may just be the fact that I'm manually rotating them more frequently than every other humidor I have because of what I use that one for.
Right.
So it may just be kind of correcting itself on its own for any humidity variances. And
Well, yeah, and you're opening it quite frequently. So if it's
right,
getting opened daily, then and you're
'cause,
moving stuff around daily,
yep, because
creating some airflow.
I've said it. My top shelf has, in the Herfador, my top tray has, my super premiums, the Opuses of the world, and the Don Carlos and the Septimos and that sort of thing. Then I've got my Dunbar Placences up there, so I'm pulling that out to pull those out individually as well. And the bottom two trays are just all my rotated singles. So that it does, it seals well, but it does get opened frequently. So it's already kind of getting some natural air change. So.
Hmm. Yeah, just opening it all the time, I think probably helps for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm I guess we're finally now in the official last third, and I know you're already there. I'm just a hair behind you. Still no transition. Which is not a bad thing because the
Just
flavors
one
have
good, solid, smooth flavor. Yeah.
yeah. Um, Kevin said sometimes you just want a damn good cigar. And I like this one. It's even there's a little bit of veininess to it, but that hasn't affected any burn. It's still, burning pretty even regardless.
Yeah, for
Like,
me, it's a $10 cigar. I think it's
yeah,
priced appropriately. I would have liked a little more. I don't know what to say. I guess, like, again, we've talked about this where I'll smoke this, and I go, well, will I ever think about wanting to smoke it again?
right.
Probably not. Like, I like, it's like there's something missing, like some pop or zing or
Like you almost want
for
just a
me
little bit extra spice or punch to it.
something. But it wasn't bad in any way or offensive in any way. But there's so many cigars out there. I just got to be able to, pick the ones I want to smoke all the time. I'm not sure this would make the list, but at $10, it's definitely worth $10 for sure.
Well, if I get, I will. One of my next somewhat soon orders, I'll grab a couple of these that hopefully I can get one that's, even if it's not a brand new box, it's not a, because, if I've had these for over 2 years, it means the box itself was probably,
Yeah, it might be 3 years old for
3 years
all we
old.
know.
So I'll
Yeah.
see if I can't get my hands on one that's a little bit newer aged and see if maybe there's a different spice pop, earlier on before it has time for those, oils to
That's
blend together.
that's why I'm curious at the Lancero. Like we talk about this all the time. When you go to 60 ring gauge, it smooths everything out so much.
Right.
Sometimes it takes that, initial, like that's why I like Coronas a lot because Coronas tend to have when you go through the sizes, the blend, the Corona
Mm-hmm.
always has more pop. It's always got a little more pepper, a little more spice. Sometimes I like that, sometimes I don't, but Corona's typically my favorite size.
Get all that
Um,
wrapper flavor.
yeah, you get a little more wrapper flavor, but
It'd be
um,
interesting to do a direct comparison because you can do it in this cigar. Smoking a Lancero
that's what I was
besides
getting at.
an 8x80 and see that drastic.
The 8x80. I'm not smoking that, so you're going to have to find somebody else. 8x80. I saw a TPE thing. There was a post that um, guy was at the Asylum booth, and this guy, I don't know his name, I can't remember his name, but he smokes two 10x100s a day. And he's got like a nickname in the industry, and everybody knows who he is because he's made his gimmick is smoking two of these things a day. And they're just gnarly, man. They're this big
They are.
around and like
Um, what is it? Lunatic's got one that I've been wanting to try because I've had their standard Lunatic. I've got I think
that's the one I'm talking about. It's actually a lunatic cigar. That's
I
a
figured it might be because it's they're kind of the
ten
ones that
by
made it.
hundred.
There's only a couple now, but they I haven't tried the big boy yet. I've had the 70. You know,
Isn't that a CLE product or no? Or is that a
I
completely
actually
independent
think the
company? I don't know
Lunatic is.
anything about them.
I actually think. Hope I'm not misspeaking this, but I actually think the Lunatic might be an Aganorsa factory product.
Oh, you know
I know
what? I think you're right.
it's branded from Casa Fernandez, but I'm pretty sure.
Or maybe they roll it because they roll for a lot of people.
Right. I know we're about out of time, but let me see because if I can. Well, it says for a fact that the leaf is from Aganorsa Leafs factories, but on a quick search, it's not telling me if Aganorsa is actually making it or if they're just supplying the tobacco. Um, but big surprise, Aganorsa is involved.
Right. There are more cigars than people know, I think. Even if people just buy their tobacco from them. Like
Right.
there's a lot of Aganorsa tobacco out there and
Mm-hmm.
cigars you don't even know about.
I mean, they have good leaf. They have good factories. They take care of their product, and you know, Their quality, to me, their tobacco quality control is up there with Davidoff, where they are very particular in how they treat it, how they procure it, how they store it, and that's why so many people are using their tobacco, even if they're not making it. Their tobacco is in other products just because it's taken so well care of, and that translates to flavor and quality. And even if somebody else is making the product and rolling it, and you got good source material, you're off to a damn good start.
Yeah, you got to start with good stuff before you can make something good for sure.
Yep. Well, Chad, we do have to wrap things up for the day. Um, Considering this burned faster, I think we did a pretty good bit of damage on it. You're a little bit farther than me, but we're still right here. So yeah, um,
I think it's
not sure.
burned flawlessly though. Like for me, I haven't touched it up one time.
Nope.
Great burn,
Hmm.
great draw.
You said it, but to still your words. You have a barber pole. They don't always burn even because you're burning two things at the same time,
Yep.
and every once in a while, with that overlap, it'll get off. And I'm talking a matter of millimeters, and then it's immediately fixed. There's no adjustments. There's been no touch ups.
Yeah, about how yours is now is the worst mine ever got. Like
That one
maybe
little,
a eighth of an inch or so. Roll it again. Roll it all the way around.
yeah, that
Right there's
there,
the worst. So it's like,
yeah,
and that's nothing, but it kept
that's
just auto correcting.
you can't say it's razor sharp, but if you're talking on a scale of 5, the least I'm gonna go is a 4.5. I mean, it's
Yeah,
it's right there.
especially since you never touched it up.
Exactly. Um, have not touched the lighter since I finished torching it, so took a little bit extra torch, but that's just because of its size. Once it's going, it is burned smooth. It is burned even, consistent. I give it. Those are high
Hmm.
marks on that part.
For sure. Construction was great.
It, we're talking about you know, probably by the time we're done, an hour 20 cigar, maybe hour 30 by the time we get off and finish tops. But so it burns a little bit quicker than most Gordos, but it's burning smooth. So I'm down with that. I'll take it any day.
Yeah, I might be smoking it a little fast because I'm wanting a little bit of spice or something. I don't know.
Trying to pull it out. Yeah.
Yeah, trying to make it do something for me.
Well, fam, this is definitely one. If you have not tried Asylum or you haven't had this one, the Asylum 13 Ogre, definitely have your choices of sizes from a Lancero all the way up to a Super Gordo at an 8x80. So you have your choices to play with. So good, consistent level cigar. Another one worth trying. We didn't have a whole lot of complexity notes on this one. It is not a complex cigar. It's just a good, straightforward cigar. So good one to try and give it a shot. Let us know what you think. But another show, good fun conversation. And hollow down fam, y'all know the drill. Until next time, stay safe and hollow down.
Take it easy.